Part 2. Eli meets the secret society and begins to understand the portal's power. Eli stood there, frozen in the strange realm, trying to make sense of what the cloaked man had told him. The air around him seemed heavier now, charged with an unsettling energy. His mind was racing. How could he ever escape this place? And why was he the one chosen to face its dangers? Just as Eli was about to take a step forward, a soft sound broke the silence, a whisper carried by the wind. "Follow us." He spun around. There, standing at the edge of the darkened path, was a group of figures, cloaked and hooded, just like the man he had met earlier. Their faces were hidden, but there was something familiar about their presence. They were calm, but there was a tension in the air, something that suggested they had been waiting for him. Eli took a deep breath, steeling himself. He had no choice. He had to know more. He needed answers. Without saying a word, he followed them, his feet moving steadily along the winding path that seemed to lead deeper into the heart of the mysterious world. As they walked, Eli noticed how the sky above them seemed to shift, the colors swirling in patterns that were almost hypnotic. The trees, their glowing leaves, seemed to watch him as he passed, as if aware of his every move. After what felt like hours of walking, they arrived at a hidden door, carved into the side of a mountain. The door was plain and unremarkable, but there was a strange symbol carved above it, an eye with a swirling line around it. One of the figures stepped forward and placed their hand on the symbol. There was a soft hum, and the door creaked open, revealing a dimly lit chamber inside. Eli followed the group into the room, his heart pounding with anticipation. The chamber was large, but sparsely decorated. In the center of the room, there was a round table, and around it sat several more figures, all cloaked and silent. The atmosphere was heavy with a sense of ancient knowledge. The figure who had led him here motioned for Eli to sit at the table. He hesitated for a moment, then took the seat. The others didn't speak, but their eyes, hidden beneath their hoods, seemed to watch him closely. Finally, a voice broke the silence. A soft but firm voice, coming from one of the figures at the table. "You have found the portal." Eli nodded. "Yes. But I don't understand. What is this place? And why am I here?" The figure leaned forward, their hood shifting just enough to reveal a pair of intense eyes. "This, Eli, is the secret society of the portal travelers. We have been here for centuries, trapped in this cycle. We are the ones who discovered the portal long ago, and we have been trying to understand it ever since." Eli's brow furrowed in confusion. "A cycle? What do you mean?" Another figure, seated beside the first, spoke up. "The portal is not just a doorway between worlds. It is a curse. Each time you step through it, you lose a piece of yourself, a memory, a part of your soul. We have all paid the price for trying to control it." Eli listened closely, his mind trying to wrap around what they were saying. "So, this portal isn't just a way out? It's dangerous." Yes, the first figure said. The more you use it, the more you forget. And eventually, you will forget who you are entirely. We have been stuck in this loop for so long that we no longer remember the lives we once lived. The world outside changes, but we are frozen in time. Eli's heart sank. Is there any way to escape? The second figure leaned forward, her voice quieter now. There is a way, but it is not easy. You must find the key of time, the only object that can break the cycle. But be warned, every time you use the portal, you lose a memory. If you use it too many times, you may never return to the world you once knew. Eli's mind was spinning. A key? A way to escape? But at what cost? He looked around the room at the faces of the other travelers. They seemed so empty, so lost. They had given up pieces of themselves for the portal. Was it worth it? Suddenly, a voice interrupted his thoughts. You have to make a choice, Eli, said the first figure, their voice grave. The longer you stay in this world, the more it will consume you. But if you find the key, you may be able to stop it. If you're willing to pay the price. Eli's chest tightened. The weight of the decision was heavy, but he knew one thing for certain. He couldn't stay here forever. He needed to find the key, but he had no idea where to start. How do I find the key of time? Eli asked. The first figure stood up, signaling the others to rise. We do not know. The key is hidden somewhere in this world, and only the one who is destined to break the cycle can find it. But remember, every step you take brings you closer to losing yourself. Eli stood as well, his resolve growing stronger. I will find it, he said, his voice steady. I will find the key and escape this world. The figures around him nodded, their expressions unreadable. We wish you luck, Eli, said the first figure. But know this, the path ahead is fraught with danger. The portal will fight you, and you will lose more than just memories. You will lose pieces of your very being. Eli took a deep breath and nodded. I'm ready. With that, the figures stepped back, and Eli turned toward the door. The path ahead was uncertain, but he had no choice. The portal had already changed his life. Now he had to find a way to break its hold on him and on the world. As he stepped back into the dim corridor, the heavy door closed behind him. The air felt colder now, as if the world itself was watching him. To be continued.